you're going to face the same thing. You're going to work for money and churn out masala. With total disregard to your civic duty, you will be manufacturing defective baby food, and you'll be aware of it, and you won't know when to stop it. There is a time, and you'll know it. Prepare yourself. You want to sell out? You can. There are people to buy you out. But do you want to sell cheap? Or do you want to buy yourself a new conscience? Well, honesty is a luxury most can't afford. I have managed to eke out some money to be honest most of the time. And I know I've deviated from cinema, but then how can cinema be any different from any of the chosen companies you're going to run? It's going to have the same problems that I am facing. The same content development is going to be lacking in many of the companies. Just because we wear suit and ties doesn't mean we have upgraded ourselves to the modern world. We still have to understand what tolerance is all about. We talk about it, but none of us are tolerant. So all these things, the society is the peer pressure. It's not your friend sitting beside you. The society in general, the older generation, younger, your son will become your peer and your pressure. And I have many such things in my films. Sometimes when a discerning audience asks me questions about, why did you do that? I mean, it's a sort of cheap way of saying what you have to say. It's unintelligent. Why do you do it? And when I say that I have this problem of reaching out to the masses, I'm lying. I'm just covering up for myself. It's because my money bag tells me I don't understand it. He's stupid. He did not learn his trade, but he wants to be in this trade. That is the problem that every trade will be facing. The man with the money does not think that he has to educate himself or even know what he's dealing with. He says, money, Lakshmi alone will do. And since Saraswati is Lakshmi's sister, she'll come along. I mean, anyway, I'll meet her for a festival. They hoodwink that particular area. And that's why, sir, I suffer as you will. And that's why, sir, I fight as you will. Thank you. Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Oh, I thought someone was dubbing for you. Yes.
Sorry about that.
Because you've got too much testosterone to sound like that. Yes, lady.
Okay, I'm extremely glad to be seeing you here today.
Thank you, ma'am.
I have a couple of questions. Like, the first thing is, what is the one motivating factor that actually kept you going?
Oxygen.
It's a very challenging film industry, you know, like where you have so many hurdles and so many times where you feel like giving up, but then there should be some light that, you know, actually makes you go towards it. So what was it?
Light at the end of the tunnel, you mean?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't take tunnels. I'm claustrophobic. I climb over the mountain and land on the other side. It's tedious, mind you, ma'am. I don't take tunnels. I climb all the way, but you get a good view of what's around you.
And one more question. So your movies are so unique and so different. So what helps you generate these ideas?
Why it's unique?
Yeah, like what is the source behind the uniqueness of your films?
I don't know. I have a unique family and I have unique questioners. I want to face them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Wow. Okay. Yeah, lawyer. Let's leave it. But that describes everything. So why add a suffix to it? Okay. If you think that I planned or schemed anything in my life, I didn't. But later on, after 22 or 23, as I told you, from the vein slitting age to the age of dawning, it was about 2 years. And till then, I think I just was fighting ghosts in my life. And I wanted to become a dancer like Mr. Uday Shankar. That was my aim from my 12th year. It kept changing. Then I threw my gunguru, as we call it salangai in Tamil, into the sea, and I thought I'm done with it. Because nobody respects me. This is not the way you treat an artist. You can see a bit of that in films like Sagar Sangamam that I've seen. I was so disillusioned with the world, I thought I had wasted nearly 6-7 years of my life pursuing an art which will never be respected. And then I said, okay, let's put something of what I've learned to use, and I joined the film industry again. I joined Christian Arts and Communication Center and started propagating Christianity for money. I believed in Christianity as much as I believed in my own religion. I'm a rationalist. So I went there for the 120 rupees stipend, but that was a great experience for me. I learned about Christianity. I learned about, in retrospect, I started looking at my own religion. All this was helpful. Above all, it gave me the connection to enter into cinema. I'm very grateful. I'm not, my idea of being a rational does not exclude people, human beings. So they were very nice people who sort of took me in the direction of films. When I went into films, I was an assistant choreographer, dance choreographer. So it is not my ambition which took me there. I was there and my boss became a director in films. It was his ambition which drove him, and I became an assistant director. Then suddenly I realized I have a dream which I'll pursue as passionately as I did my dance. I wanted to be a filmmaker. And I pursue that dream even today. In between, I became an actor and then a star. I didn't plan any of it. And that is thanks to my mentor, Mr. K. Balachandar. Thank you. I will tell him when I meet him that by the mere mention of his name, I raised an applause. So I would have done it gladly any time for him. But so when I told him that I want to pursue, now I have the money I want, what do you want to become? I said, I want to become a director. He said, you want to come to the studios in an auto rickshaw or a taxi? Become an actor. You are already a director. I see that in you. You can become a director whenever you want. But the stardom that is endowed upon you doesn't happen to many people, even talented ones. So pursue that, build yourself a house, and then make a film. Become a director. You have all the time in the world. And that's what I pursued. I took advice, which I rarely do, but I took good advice. Sometimes what you think is my success, I consider as failures. So it's a point of view. People think Sakalakala alone is a grand success. It made you a star. But it only made me a star. That's my complaint. I wanted more. More. And that's why we came towards Nayakan, we came towards Apurva Sahodarargal, and towards Tevar Magan. These were all attempts to reach my goal under my terms. So the failures are there, many. People say my Anbe Shivam is a failure. I refuse to accept it. And yes, it's failure because they premeditated its failure. The producers thought it's not worth it. They've stepped on something that is undesirable. That's what they thought halfway through the film. And we had to fight that, but we didn't sulk. We continued with the film, and some of you here might even like it, I think. See, these are the people I trusted in. This is where I bet my money on, and they don't know where to bet at all. They bet it on a star instead, me. And I bet it on multiple heads like yours. And it worked, because people talk about it. When I'm dead and gone, they'll still remember Ranbir Shivam. So, when you say, sir, about failure, the best thing you can learn from a failure is when you look at it without bias, not with financial or political. What are the personal mistakes that you have contributed to the failure? Because cinema truly is a democratic art form. You can't do it alone. It's not Van Gogh slicing off his ears in dissatisfaction. You'll have to slice off many ears, because many heads have gone into the making of a film. So you can't take the credit of the success of a film single-handedly. Even Chaplin, even Mr. Orson Welles, they all had the supportive struts which kept them in place. The same applies to me. So when you talk of failures, it's not about telling who did the mistake. Where did we go wrong is how I'd like to analyze my failures. That's pertaining to cinema. If it's about my bank balance, or that's a personal failure, that's a different thing. That I'll have to look at it in a different form, that I'm personally answerable, or my personal life for that matter. Those are different, but